that? Why not? Because you gave him a way out. He's not going to admit to you, particularly in this kind of assessment, that, yeah, he's a big troublemaker, he's causing problems. But he's more likely to say, yeah, I have to kind of step up and put people in their place. And sometimes, yeah, it gets physical sometimes. That gives me different information. Sometimes it's not that helpful to ask. You can just make some assumptions about somebody being suicidal. So I want to ask you about different ways you can hurt yourself. Are there different ways you're thinking tonight? What are some other ways you're going to think about killing yourself tonight? It's not so much I'm asking, are you thinking about it? I'm just assuming that you are. And just let's get into how many different ways. So we're going to skip over that one. Simple amplification is interesting because we want to know, has anybody been struggling with this for a while? Have they tried it before? So instead of, are they going to always tell you that and own up to it? Maybe not. But people are inclined, just because it's human nature, to want to correct you if you're wrong. Right? We hate somebody who's got the wrong impression of us. So if you say something like, have you ever tried hurting yourself before? Tell me about what you've gone through. You've been through this kind of stuff before? Most people are going to say, no. I think this is the first time. Yeah, I don't think I've been through this before. Yeah, this is the first time. If you say, listen, a lot of times, if you're stressed out as you are, you'll be surprised. Well, you think you've maybe tried this 40 times before? 50 times? How many times have you tried this before? And they'll say, oh no, 12 times. You're kind of giving them that opportunity to say, to correct you with correct information. If you say, well, have you tried this 12 times? They may not have gone there. But they hate for you to be wrong, so they'll correct you. And then again, ask specifics. Have you thought about shooting yourself? Have you thought about overdosing? Exactly what you thought about. It doesn't hurt to ask those questions. At the end of it all, we want the person who's maybe at risk in you to be okay when you go home. Right? As if you're going to go home and fret and call somebody and be upset, that's telling you something. It was not done. When you leave the campus, when you go home, when you be in that conversation, you ought to be okay. You know that's okay. I passed it off to student services. 911 has them now. They're up at the hospital. I don't have to. I'm done. I'm not worried. Not do I not have to worry. My job is done. I did the right thing. Versus if you can't do that, then you're probably not done. And if it haunts you, there you go. We're going to lean, we're going to err all on the side of saying the risk is higher than it is. Let the professionals figure that out. So how to evaluate that risk? All those factors I mentioned before, we're going to sort of get points for it and evaluate that. Something I want to call your attention, called the Werther effect. So if you have a suicide, and this is not even just a local suicide, even somebody in like a celebrity suicide, when we have somebody kills themselves, there's the immediate peer group of kids, right? Their family, peer group, that we get concerned about just because they're grieving, they're devastated, they need our support and our attention, we're taking care of them. Outside that circle, sometimes way outside that circle, somebody else who relates to what they're hearing, what the talk is. You know what? I'm just like them. Did you hear what they did? You know what? I'm going to do the same thing. So this copycat repeats just because they relate to and associate with what got told about, what the talk is. So controlling this Werther effect is an important issue. It's why a lot of folks they just sort of squelch the event, although everybody's talking about it. It's hard to squelch something as devastating as a suicide. There's some good news. This is kind of a downer conversation, but there's some good news. The opposite is always true. If a kid is plugged in, They're active in their community. They've got a job. They're active in programs here at the campus. They're active in their church. They've got a close connected family. They've got a tight peer group. They're doing stuff. That's protected. If they're already in some services, that's protected. Certain religious beliefs. I've talked to a variety of people who said, the only reason I haven't killed myself up to now is it's against my religious beliefs. It says in the Bible, you can't do that. Don't quote your chapter and verse. It's not unusual to hear that. Thank goodness that's the one thing that's kept them on the planet with us. Because they are otherwise have struggled with that. And that's the one thing to keep them around. You have to take it serious. Although here's what we know. 75% of people who are suicidal, in some ways, whether it's behaviorally, symptomatically, or even in conversation, telegraph and let us know about their being suicidal. What does that mean? It means 25% of the people, there's no way on this earth that anybody saw it coming. 25% of them. Mom and dad didn't know, they're shocked. The friends didn't know, they're shocked. Best friend, girlfriend, boyfriend, the faculty at the University of Mountain. Nobody saw this coming. 25% of the time. So does that mean you're going to always see it coming? No. Are you going to hold yourself accountable for that? Probably. Are you going to question yourself? Why didn't I do something? The answer is because you didn't know. You had no clue. It was one of those 25%ers. That does happen. But we're not going to give up on ourselves. We sort of hold ourselves to 100% when these things occur, which is kind of a tough way to be. Well, leave them alone. I've seen this a couple of times where somebody wants to talk to me about somebody who's suicidal, and I say, okay, well, tell me where are they at? It's like, well, they're gone. They were, right over here. Well, you just left them? Really? Seriously? So don't leave them alone. Stick with them. You need to call somebody. Somebody's going to come, right? But don't just say, okay, well, listen, 911's on the way. I hope it all works out for you. Good luck. Sorry to hear you having such a rough time. You have to stay with them. And then you're stopped. That's just it. Be compassionate, offer a lot of support, and not be shocked. Again, I think that's part of what our agenda is for today. That you've thought about it ahead of time. It's okay. We've got stuff in place. We got people. We know how to do it. It's not a big deal. Again, we kind of beat ourselves up when we miss an opportunity to intervene. The impact is big. It can kind of stay with you a while. Certainly within many months following a fatality, it can sort of stay in the background. What could we have done different? And sometimes that means that you should be talking to people more. Maybe what you do different is talk more about it. And so there's some answers there that are good. Having something in place is a good idea. Having a program, having services in place, knowing what you're going to do. Sometimes you may want to just do more than just get a map out. There's such a thing as not doing enough. This guy, he's a little worried about his buddy, obviously, but you got to step it up a little bit. Maybe 2 maps would have been a better plan. Here's what we're saying. We're saying that being at suicidal risk is a reactive crisis. It's transient and it's episodic. We go from not being at risk to being critical risk, and then back down again very quickly, usually within the course of a few days. Very responsive to treatment. We can jump on this. We can do something about it. We can get people through that time if they're in the hands of the professionals that do that. So you have to kind of get them to us. Get support for yourselves. Get some consultation if you find yourself in that quandary. There is a variety of advertised sort of crisis lines, helplines, things like that. This is the only one I know of still. 273 Talk. It's run by the National Institute of Mental Health. These are trained, professional, 24/7 people who know how to talk to suicidal people. A lot of crisis lines are access services. Oh, you need some services? Let me see. How would a month from Tuesday be for you? Because I got an appointment here a month from Tuesday. We can hook you into this clinic. Yeah, put me down a month from Tuesday. I won't be here. That's not a crisis line. It's a referral line. And sometimes they fall under the cover of crisis lines and stuff. This is a legit, professionally trained, something that you feel good about. The interesting thing, the Suicide Prevention Lifeline, they'll send you brochures, stickers. Again, we've already paid for it because it's from federal tax dollars. They will send you information, leaflets, brochures, all kinds of cool stuff. On the internet, where else can you look? There's something, Mental Health America has a program called Life on Campus. There's a lot of good information just about mental health services, sort of how to process and deal with kind of mental health care on a college campus. It's a cool thing to have, to look at. And the gold standard, of course, is the National Institute of Mental Health. They have a lot of information, more than you'll ever get through. Guaranteed, I've been chewing on it for a long time, but they're a good resource. A lot of information on the net. Most of it will tell you a little bit of the same thing, but not be that helpful. And NIMH can tell you more than what you want to know. You can always call me, talk to me through student services, or just call me directly. I'm more than happy to sort of think out loud with somebody and talk to somebody kind of about their concerns. Always a good thing. This slide means I can stop talking and ask you the questions that you're thinking about. Thoughts, questions, observations. Do you know more about addressing and evaluating suicidal risk potential than you did an hour ago? As you should. You were paid for it. You look like you were. So any questions at all? Yeah. With digital threats. I think we handle all that just like any other communication. It's a communicated threat. Just as they were here live, it's a little more tricky to hunt that down. I can tell you that police departments can ping that without too much trouble and find out where that cell phone is when you, and this is probably, if you're paranoid, don't listen to this part, but they can, they do it all the time, but when it's an indicated reason, they can find out exactly where you are real quick. There have been a few times I've been involved in cases where somebody was calling and we needed to know where that person was. And with a few phone calls to the right telephone people, from the right other kind of people, I can tell you right quick, right now where that guy is. You get a map on the computer screen and see that right there? There's a tree. He's behind that tree. So if you've got a cell phone on, it tells you. Even if the phone's not on, sometimes it telegraphs that. If the phone's in a pond, not so much. But there's a lot of information that your local police department or other authorities can get access to kind of find out who that is, where that is, if you have a hard time otherwise. So I think that that's no different than communicating it any other way. As far as what I'm going to make of that claim for. Someone, maybe in the protection of the digital world, are they more free to say something that's just sort of flip and they were just expressing themselves maybe? Possible. I mean what they said, but we're going to take it as the same. Don't really differentiate that. But I'm probably going to need, depending on what they say and the urgency of that, I'm going to probably need a police department to get the pinger going and let's find out exactly where they are. And you can easily do that. Probably easier than you think. Any other questions? Well, again, thanks for having me down. I always enjoy being at Mount Olive. It's sort of a nice break for me to come down and just talk to people. Now and then I have to go back to work and do whatever I do at the hospital, so that's okay too. But thanks for your time and attention. I could, then you call me. Yeah, I only put up there for a couple seconds. And I typically have business cards, but literally I just changed to the new hospital. I know the address. 1401 West Ash Street, Tree House by Jim Address. I don't know my phone number. Really don't. Well, yeah, I do. It's right there. 8310. Yeah, that's about how much I know. I've been in my new office about 2 days. I don't call myself all that much anymore.
If you get lost, you can tell the nice officer where you're at.
That's right, that's right. Well, he just I take my cell phone. You don't know where you know where I'm at. They sure. Really not. That's not coming down. It does happen. And again, that's where I look for power. And so I'm looking for, I see a lot of